Alright, we're doing this series where I'm going back and taking a look at some of the stuff that's in these packages that we're making up and then posting on the Gear website store. This is an attempt to raise some funds, pay off some of the bills from the Gun Show Loophole Tour, and going through some of the stuff that we collected for our Patreons and stuff that we collected to ship out as stuff for Free Patch Friday and things like that, and just some of the extras, and going through and talking about those as a way to look back on the Gun Show Loophole Tours that we've been doing now since, I guess technically since 2001, but in force since 2012. So for the last, I'd say 8 years, but the last 3 or 4, for sure, put about 60,000 miles on the vehicles and visited, 29 or something states, visited all kinds of gun shops, and we don't just do that just to, rack up some kind of numbers. We want to do that so that we can gain perspective and offer insight on the community in videos like this one and in other projects, where we are able to add whatever perspective comes from that experience. So I think since we did like a 20-minute video the last time, if you're showing up for this one, you probably saw the other one. You're not gonna want to see the same stuff. So I'll whip through them, and we have a couple of different things, but maybe we can try to find some different stories and stuff, and I doubt they'll all be 20 minutes. So we'll start off with the AZ Firearms decal. We have this one out because, as you remember, on the first one, there was an error, and I was checking it out. But we have another decal from Owl and Anchor, made up those decals for the 2018 Gun Show Loophole Tour. That was this logo. And then they also made up the 2019 tour stickers and the 2017 Gun Show Loophole Tour stickers. I tried to randomize them up a little bit with different sort of themes, and playing around with doing something catchy that we can use for perks like this and to say thanks when we visit gun shops. We got that Wind River Outdoor Company round sticker and their periodic table Wyoming sticker, the Tougher Than Shittium element. These are stickers that we bought with the funds raised through Patreon for a couple of years. Well, it was over a year, so technically for 2 years. So for months, we raised funds for the Gun Show Loophole Tour, and then would spend money at the shops that we visited. So the goal was not just to visit these shops and to help put them on the internet, to help get their site, on the maps and do reviews and stuff like that. So we help give them some footing on the web, but also then to buy something at the shops, spend some money at them. And I really like that concept. I'd really like to get some sort of engine running where we have enough income to be able to do that again. Because going to gun shops is great, but being able to leave some money behind and just say thanks, I can't tell you how cool that was. It was seriously some of the best times. So next we have the F1639. This is a sticker that was made up by Sporting Systems in Washington State in response to a Bloomberg initiative that has infringed on those people. We got a sticker from BMC Tactical, a similar patch from the Haas USMC, friend who drove around with us in 2012 on the tour. We got this Billings Army-Navy surplus store. That's actually the surplus store I was talking about in the last video that put one of these on the window, and I totally forgot to take a picture of it. They did it there in front of me too, I think. Next we got another sticker, this time not the decal but the sticker from AZ Firearms up outside of Phoenix. Great group of people. We got the Illinois State Rifle Association sticker from Gun Rights Policy Conference 2018 that was in Chicago, and we drove up to that one. On the way back from that, we went to the Cody Museum, which I've never been to it when there's actually guns there. They didn't let us go behind the scenes, and there wasn't really any other guns at the museum, so we'll have to go back for that one, I guess. People tell me it's a good museum. Some people tell me. I've had other opinions. Then we got the gun store, one of my favorite shops, and I probably took half the video in the last one talking about the gun store. But one of the reasons I do the tour is some of the shops that influenced me back in the day. That would be an interesting series. Maybe I should try to do that. I went back and visited one of the shops that I can remember visiting when I was a little kid that my dad would take me to, and I just missed it by like a couple of years, I think. It went out of business. The guy died, no one took it over. But that shop, I can remember that shop, and that's one of the reasons I go to gun shops. And then a couple of the other shops when I was a kid, and I've still visited some of those that are still around. But this is one that I haven't been going to since I was a little kid, but since I've been going to Vegas. And really cool shop, rental place, worth checking out if you haven't. So that's 2 videos I went on and on about it. You'd think they would sponsor us if we only took sponsorships. I'm not going to tell you what these are. If you know what they are, you know what they are. And they're green. Then we have the AZ guns, not AZ firearms, but AZ guns, and they live well together. This is a town that's a little bit south of Phoenix. I still say it's in Phoenix, and this is their sticker. I think we bought these, again, it's a shop in Phoenix, so probably coming home from somewhere, anywhere really. We're going to go through Vegas or Phoenix, so if it's working hours, business hours, I usually try to pick a shop or two, and on one of those visits, I grab some of their stickers. Now another shop in Arizona that we talked about in the last one is the ATF convenience store, and it's literally called the ATF convenience store. That's their FFL. Pretty cool shop. Definitely check them out on Instagram. We got the set of duelists from Gallitzins. Spent a lot of time in the last video talking about this shop. One of my favorite shops to follow online as well. Capital Armory. And I found these guys by following them online. I was a fan of their advocacy and their awareness and just the way they had fun with their account. Again, it's a small shop focused on suppressors outside Austin. They were very nice to us too when we visited. And it's super cool being able to go to a shop where, honestly, I think they're probably used to people who are influencers or YouTubers or Instagrammers or whatever the hell you're going to call people that use their phones, right, to help share what the community is all about. I think they're most familiar with people coming in and expecting stuff from them. When all I want to do is buy their stickers or something, it's really neat. It's just a great experience, and I really do appreciate our patrons that allow me to do that. And hopefully you understand that you're giving those gun shops an experience that I don't know if they get very often, where somebody truly comes in and just appreciates them for being there. It's pretty neat. Then we got Trinidad, a little brochure about that town in Colorado that me and Bob would meet up at occasionally. Then we got this other brochure from Southwest Colorado, that map that let's just say we procured them from a rest area in Indiana. Got some new stuff here. We got the ghost towns of southern Arizona. And I think I got this one when Clover came to the Gun Rights Policy Conference and we went down to Tombstone to film some videos and eat. And he's never been to Tombstone. And just check it out. And I grabbed some of these, I think, from probably from the restaurant. Next is some stuff from Gun Rights Policy Conference, a little brochure that you get if you go to a gun show or something from Arizona Citizens Defense League. I like to pass these out just so that they get out there, but maybe this gives somebody some inspiration or an idea of how to work something out for their range or for a group or something in their town or something. Again, a little one that goes out about the big lie of expanded background checks. Another attempt to explain with a piece of physical stuff the problems with gun prohibitions. Then we've got yet another one that's attempting to do that. I'll send those out. We got a brochure or a card or whatever they call these things from Woolaroc. Really cool museum just outside of Tulsa. If you're not going to Tulsa and you're into guns, you got to go to Tulsa. There's the giant gun show there. There's the J.M. Davis Museum, and I'm done. But you've also got Woolaroc, and you got a great selection of gun shops and cool gun people. There's the fast outdoor shoot, fast machine gun shoot coming up, which is a machine gun shoot that's in Oklahoma. So many reasons to go to Oklahoma if you're into guns. It even looks kind of like a gun. You need to start going to Oklahoma. And when you do, you're going to go to Oklahoma City, and you're going to see the National Cowboy Museum, which is mostly art, and it's cowboy stuff, but there is a whole room of guns there, and they have a lot of movie guns, so it's worth going for that. This is in Texas, but if you happen to go through Waco, you got to check out the Texas Ranger Museum. We haven't talked about this one in the series yet. This is a really cool museum. It's a memorial, or it's a Hall of Fame for Texas Rangers, but the museum part of it focuses on firearms, and they don't need to, but they do. And that's super cool. The history, the progression of the technology. They have some Pattersons and some Walkers that you can hold. Little kids can hold the guns. Not, probably, no, I don't even think they're fake. I think they're just old, worn out ones. But, they're not going to hurt anybody, but they can pick up real guns and see the balance, understand them, take apart a Patterson and put it back together. I mean, that's how cool this museum is. Not only that, but you've got like specimens from history, like actual Texas history, there at the museum. So worth checking out. I think it costs money, but it's totally worth it. And then it's in Waco, so it's where the Dr. Pepper, the rip-off Dr. Pepper corporate museum is. And then, of course, the whole Waco thing is there if you're interested. Next, we got Gat Guns. I mentioned in one of the other things about the shops that inspired me as a kid, and this is one that I visited as a youngin', and it's a large shop, really cool. We got the little brochure from Vegas, and I was kind of contemplating not giving these out because they don't offer these anymore. So at one point when I visited the Las Vegas, New Mexico, they had this thing because they're proud of all these movies they've done. And they've done a lot of movies, but you got the Red Dawn there, right? They don't give this out anymore. This hasn't been there for the last 2 times. So that's going in here, but I'm contemplating keeping these, so just saying. Continental Gun Club, or Centennial Gun Club, one of the gun tree clubs that's out there. A very cool gun shop. Again, I follow these guys on Instagram because it's a quality Instagram feed. Really cool shop, too. Walk the Talk America. This is a pretty cool story. Well, story of the Mike, but then the organization itself is focused on suicide awareness and prevention. So something that's often overlooked, but something that, again, if we overlook it, the prohibitionists use it against us. And when you look at who is committing suicides with firearms, it's gun owners most of the time. So definitely a worthy awareness campaign. And this is a card that I'm not sure where we picked those up. Probably a gun rights policy this year or last year in 2019. Next is another little card, just a brochure from Las Vegas, New Mexico. We've got the Buffalo Bill Museum. Again, they'll tell you how much it costs. They just didn't have their guns out when I went there. Let's see, SWAT Exchange. No idea what that is or where it came from, but now you got it. Oh, I got 2 things from the Very Large Array, so I'll peel one of them off. The Very Large Array is where they filmed the movie Contact. So Matt hates this, and Bob hates this. I think it's one of the coolest places ever. I've never seen them this close together, but I've seen them pretty close together. And I've been going to the Very Large Array since the 90s. I guess since the beginning of the 90s even. So I've been going to the Very Large Array for a long time. It's just out in the middle of New Mexico, kind of, and you can just drive up to these giant radio telescopes, and they're actually miles apart most of the time. So you don't even realize you're in an array until you realize those aren't buildings that I'm near. These are giant telescopes, and there's a place you can camp there for free. It's just the coolest place ever. You can't use your phone, but you can have a lot of fun being underneath some of the largest radio telescopes on the planet. I don't know why people wouldn't like that. Anyway, you get a brochure from that place. I'm going the wrong way. This is the War Eagles Air Museum, and I think I got this when I went up to the Second Amendment rally in Santa Fe, because I'm trying to figure out what this thing was on the side of the road. So I probably should look at that before I send it to you, but you're getting that brochure. This is also from, basically I was going to that to a rally, and there was no bathrooms anywhere, but there was this tourism thing. I went in there, looked around, and then went to the bathroom. So I grabbed some of the brochures after I went to the bathroom. So this is another one, just some historic sites in New Mexico. And then finally next is the Cowboy Museum map. So this is how cool the Cowboy Museum is. I went there during almost at closing one day. Went in all the way back, and they crammed the guns into the back, of course. And I think they were actually all the way back here, or else back here somewhere. So they were pretty far back. So it's kind of neat. You go in, and it's all art and some auditoriums. I never even got to this side. And then just museum-type stuff, artifacts, and type of lifestyle and stuff like that in these other areas, forums or whatever they're called. Anyway, cool little map of the area. Next is a thing from Katie, Aiming for the Truth, a little flyer that was in the stuff at Gun Rights Policy Conference 2019, basically alerting people that he was going to be at this event Saturday after Gun Rights Policy Conference. Then we've got the Gun Freedom Radio, which is the same as AZ Firearms, same people, that same shop we were just talking about. Of course, Cheryl is the Polka Dots Are My Camo lady, and this is the story of her pin and her, well, what would be the patch, and what is now the patch. Then we've got another one from there, so I'll pull it out. This one is just another full page thing from AZ Firearms. Next, we've got one from Contribute Us, from Gunstreamer. I think they're handing these out at SHOT Show 2 years ago in 2018. This is from the 18 tour when we drove through Wisconsin. We found a really cool little surplus store, and down in the basement, they were sewing their own patches and dog stuff, so harnesses and dog collars and things. And I actually got Mello the one that she's wearing. Hey, come here. So, this dog's actual collar... Oh, I don't even have it on her. You can be gone again. Go away. Get out of here. I forgot that I only put it on her when she's outside. But the collar that she wears is actually from this place. I am looking for more collars, though, so if you know somebody else that makes collars in the USA, let me know. This was from Gun Rights Policy 2018 when it was in Dallas. And this is the little single-use printers from Ghost Gunner that they had a little demo going. This is from the SAR show, the Small Arms Review show. They had I don't know what this is. Some other gun show they must do. No, this isn't that at all. This is something from Oklahoma, I think. Buchanan's Gun Show. See, I see Crossroads and I think, oh, Crossroads Gun Show, because it says Crossroads Gun Show, but this is actually Crossroads Event Center. Buchanan's Gun Show at the Crossroads Event Center in the J.C. Penney building. Buchanan Event CO, so maybe this is in Colorado? It's a mystery. You're going to get a mystery card. This isn't a mystery. It's the map of SHOT Show 2020. Last year that they had the small convention center. Now it's the big giant convention center. Winnington Center brochure from this year. We got this on the way back from Visiting Dragon Man. And then the Gun Rights Policy Conference from Phoenix. This is the schedule and everybody who talked. So we'll put all this stuff together into this bubble envelope, and this will be the Gun Show Loophole Tour package number 2 on the Gear website store. We'll be posting these to raise some funds, but it's also an excuse. Now this is 40 minutes. This is 2 20-minute videos that we've done going back and talking about the tour and talking about the people, and I'll do my best to link to as many things as possible here. Keep in mind that most everything that we've talked about, we've created links on the different websites as we've covered the tour, as we do the tour and go back like this and cover it. And that's what we're trying to do with the tours. We're trying to create awareness and some curiosity and something to talk about. If someone's doing a live conversation or a blog, they can maybe pull something from this conversation and talk about it. You can create conversation by leaving comments on Gunstreamer, on guntube.org, or wherever you happen to see this video. This is 40 more minutes talking about the Gun Show Loophole Tour, where we drove, 60,000 miles checking out 200 gun shops. That's what it's all about, just exploring the Second Amendment community and sharing it. So if you're down with that, check us out on gearwebsites.com. One of the ways that we pay for this whole thing is not by trying to get you to buy a new thing or a fancier thing or to buy more things, but instead to buy junk and stuff that we picked up for free while we've been driving around exploring our 2A. So if you would, check out gearwebsites.com. If you know somebody who's interested, send them our way. Check us out every evening on the Daily Gun Show, where we talk about guns without a political or sales motive each weeknight. And of course, thank you for your support, and thanks for watching.